Hi folks, and welcome to Tech Talk. My name is Anu. My guest today is founder and CEO of a company called JustAnswer. His name is Andy Kurtzig. Come join me. Hi Andy.
Hi Anu.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you are founder and CEO of a company called JustAnswer. JustAnswer is a professional services platform that provides on-demand, love that, on-demand, affordable and expert help to people globally. And you solve problems for people by sort of answering questions and connecting them online to service providers like doctors, lawyers, engineers, veterinarians, tech support folks, and a bunch more. Since you have founded the company, you've had over 10,000 experts helping more than 8 million people across 200 countries. That's really amazing. What I'd like to know is your story behind how JustAnswer was founded.
I started JustAnswer when my wife, Sarah, was pregnant with my first daughter. And Sarah had lots of medical questions being pregnant for the first time. And so she called her doctor. And her doctor didn't have time for her. So I had just sold my second company and I was trying to decide what I wanted to do next. And I decided I'd build a website where Sarah could talk to a doctor anytime she wants. And that's what I did.
Did you always know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
I've always been entrepreneurial. I didn't always know I wanted to be an entrepreneur. At one point, I thought I was going to be a doctor. And I worked at Stanford Hospital in the emergency room one summer during high school and learned that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Yeah.
So on your platform, typically what type of questions can people ask?
All kinds of questions. We have doctors, lawyers, mechanics, accountants, tech support, home improvement. We have experts in 700 different categories in 196 different countries. Yeah.
And so how many different categories of help are available on the platform?
700 different
700,
categories.
you said,
Yeah,
okay.
700.
Okay.
And these are all not just sort of doctors, but all the specialties within doctors, and not just lawyers, but all the specialties within law, et cetera.
I see. That's amazing. So you work with, there are verified experts that give advice, recommendations. What defines a verified expert?
So it's harder to become an expert on JustAnswer than it is to get into Harvard by the numbers. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you wanted to become let's say a lawyer or a doctor on our site, the first thing you do is you fill out an application. Then you submit to a background check to make sure that you are who you say you are and that you have an active license to practice law or medicine or whatever it is. Then you take a test, and then you are allowed in on a restricted basis, and then you're reviewed by customers. You're reviewed by the other experts in that category through our peer review system. We have a secret shopper program as well. And then out of all that, we then use an algorithm that is constantly evaluating the quality of each and every expert. And out of all that, you become a full-fledged expert.
Wow, that's quite a process.
It is. Quality is the most important thing we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about your childhood. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the peninsula and was born and raised down in Los Altos Hills and then the Menlo Park, Atherton area.
So you're a local guy.
I am. I got to see Silicon Valley grow up.
Yeah. Who were the people that inspired you the most while you were growing up?
Three people. My mom, my dad, and Steve Jobs. I'll start with Steve Jobs. He and my mom dated for a while when I was growing up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. And he'd be over at the house and I'd be back in my room on my Apple II. And he got me excited about programming. And he got me a book on Pascal, and he'd come back and check out my code and give me pointers and got me really excited about programming. And so that was really inspiring for me. And then of course my mom and my dad. My mom is known as the mother of Silicon Valley. She's the first woman to start a tech company, grow it, take it public, grow it. She acquired some big companies, and then it got acquired eventually, but really full life cycle from A to Z. And then my dad invented the touchscreen, which we all use today, and iPhones.
So you grew up in an entrepreneurial home. You grew up with all of this.
I did.
Fascinating.
It was exciting. I mean, our dinner table conversations were always about business
Yeah.
and technology and the latest and greatest and learning and constantly improving and trying to get better and better in a constantly evolving world.
That's so amazing. So interesting. What are some of the habits that you have that have led to your success?
Well, when I started JustAnswer, I really cared about three things. Number one, I wanted to make a big impact in a big market. Number two, I only wanted to work with great people. And number three, I really want to focus on customers using real data about those customers. And so those are some of the things that I learned from my previous companies that I brought to JustAnswer.
Okay. What is something, how do you deal with fear?
Well, so fear is obviously a part of taking risks and being an entrepreneur. And I've grown to really enjoy and embrace change and fear and it's sort of a part of the job, and it's a fun part of the job. Now, with that said, so on those dark days, the worst days, the scariest days, what I do is there's a book of short stories from entrepreneurs and people that did major turnarounds or comebacks in their life or in their career. And I read one or two of those little stories, and I see how somebody like Steve Jobs, who was sort of kicked out of Apple,
stories,
and made it back, or most of the famous companies and people that you see today had major turnarounds in their lives, right? Even like somebody like Jeff Bezos, right? I mean, back in 2000, they were losing billions of dollars a year, and everybody thought they're going to go out of business.
Right.
And look where they are now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to lead us into our next question. My next question. A great idea and a passionate entrepreneur can certainly pave the way towards a good bit of funding. Mm-hmm. That being said, a good bit of funding can be difficult to come by for various different reasons, right? Funds are growing more cautious as to where their money is being invested and what it will return. What, in your perspective, is a big mistake an entrepreneur should avoid after receiving funding?
So there's a couple big mistakes. One is spending too hard and too fast, all that money, because times change and your business may not grow exactly the same rate that you and everybody else was expecting. And if you spend too hard in that and then expect another round of VC money to come in, you might be mistaken, and then your company is basically at risk, if not dead. Right. And so I think VCs tend to have a different perspective on your company than you do. Yeah. They've got a portfolio of, call it 100 companies, and they're counting on one of them to be the Amazon, and that's going to make your whole portfolio. You've got one, right? You don't get to sort of be spread across 100 companies. You got to make that work.
Right.
And so, VCs might push you to try to grow faster and spend more than you might be comfortable with, and you got to be smart about the money that you're raising.
Right. Makes sense. What do you believe has been your biggest mistake as an entrepreneur?
So it's related to that last question. So after we raised $51 million over 2 rounds back in around 2010, I got a little extra cocky, a little extra confident, look at all that money we just raised. And we really were and continue to be very focused on building our business. And at that time, we were much more focused on trying to take the company public. And so we did everything we could to try to go public. And we stepped on the gas, we spent money hard, we grew the top line, which is what Wall Street wanted at that time. But the bottom line was getting worse, but the top line was going up. And we made a bunch of big, bold bets, which got away from the core of what our company was. Our company is very much about those 3 things I mentioned earlier: making a big impact, working with great people, and being customer driven, using real data about those customers. And we got away from those, especially the third one. And we made these big bold bets because we thought Wall Street wanted that, not because of what our customer wanted.
All right.
And so that was my biggest mistake. We tried to change our company name, and we tried to do a bunch of large, expensive investments that didn't pay off.
Right, right. What do you, what is, and this question probably ties into the one that I just asked you. What is the most important thing you have learned as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, focus on the customer.
Yeah.
Focus on the customer. You can make almost every other mistake, but if you don't focus on your customer, that's the only mistake that really kills you. If you're focused on your customer and listening to what they truly want, giving them what they truly want, you could set up the wrong LLC, you could not raise the right amount of money, all that kind of stuff. If you're really listening to your customer and giving them value in exchange for fair value, that's the most important thing. And it's very easy to lose sight of that.
Yeah.
It's easy to get focused on all the other things that you have to think about or worry about as an entrepreneur. But really, at the end of the day, it's that one simple thing.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. It was great meeting you, and hope to see you again. Wish you all the luck and all the success.
Thank you.
Folks, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.